Hey there, fellow Wongs. Especially to all of you out there in the diaspora. Have you ever, stopped and thought about the story behind our last name?
It's a good one.
Yeah. Well, today's the day we dive deep into that.
Awesome.
We've got this really interesting excerpt all about the Wong surname.
Okay.
And we've also got a website called Roots of China, which I think would be really helpful.
Yeah, I think that will come in handy.
And I think by using those two sources, we're really going to be able to uncover, the origins.
Right.
And the journey that our name has taken across the globe.
It's really fascinating stuff. Get ready for some surprises.
Yeah. And maybe even some royal connections.
Yeah. We might even find some links to ancient Chinese royalty and the color of prosperity. Yeah. It's all woven into the name Wang.
Wow. Okay. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, me too. One of the most intriguing things is that Wang actually comes from two distinct Chinese characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And each character represents a powerful lineage. We have pronounced Huang, which means yellow.
Okay.
And we have Wang, meaning king. So right from the start, we see a blend of symbolism and authority associated with the name.
I mean, yeah, that's fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start breaking it down. First with Huang.
Okay. Sounds good.
The color yellow. I know, color symbolism varies across cultures, so I'm curious about its significance in Chinese culture specifically.
Yellow holds a very special place. I mean, it's really important.
Okay.
In Chinese culture. It represents the earth, balance, and is closely tied to imperial authority.
Really?
Yeah. It was seen as the color of the center of the universe.
Wow.
It was a sacred hue reserved for emperors.
Wow.
So Wang families with roots in Huang, they might trace their ancestry back to ancient clans who lived along the Yellow River.
Okay.
And these folks potentially held positions of great influence, like going way back to the early dynasties.
Wow. So some Wangs out there could be descended from scholar officials or leaders.
Exactly.
From those really early dynasties.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is pretty incredible.
Can you give me, an idea of the level of influence we're talking about here?
Sure. I mean, think about figures like Huang Di, the legendary Yellow Emperor.
Oh, yeah.
The one credited with uniting China.
Right.
People with the Huang origin might have served as advisors, ministers, or even regional governors.
Okay.
I mean, they played a huge role in shaping the cultural and political landscape of ancient China.
Wow.
Their contributions weren't just about power.
Right.
It was also about knowledge, wisdom, and upholding a strong moral code.
Okay. That's a pretty impressive legacy. But then we have Wang.
Right. The other side.
Meaning king.
Yeah.
Which seems pretty straightforward. It's like a direct link to royalty, right?
It is, but it's not just about power,
No.
It's about a very specific type of leadership.
Okay.
Wang is deeply connected to Confucian ideals,
Okay.
which emphasize moral governance, integrity, duty, and respect for hierarchy.
Yeah, right.
These values are still incredibly important today, especially within the Chinese diaspora.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So Wangs who can trace their name back to Wang carry that legacy, of righteous leadership and ethical conduct.
So it's not just being a king, but being a good king.
Exactly.
It's a lot to live up to.
It is.
Okay. So I have a question about the names. If the original characters are Huang and Wang, how exactly did we end up with Wang?
That's where the evolution of language gets really interesting.
Okay.
So as Chinese civilization spread and different dialects popped up, pronunciations shifted.
Right. Makes sense.
Cantonese, which is spoken in regions like Guangdong and Hong Kong, Huang and Wang, transformed into Wang.
Okay, so over time.
Over centuries, yeah.
Yeah.
Through waves of migration and cultural exchange.
Wang became the Cantonese pronunciation.
Exactly, for both Huang and Wang.
That's so interesting. So migration and language have shaped the name we know today.
They really have.
And am I right in thinking there are even more variations depending on the specific dialect?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In Hokkien and Teochew dialects, which are common in southern China and Southeast Asia, you'll often find ong instead of Wang.
Interesting.
It all just shows the richness and complexity of the Chinese community worldwide.
Right.
And Wang's been a huge part of that.
The community we've been a big part of, yeah. So we've got these two powerful origins, Huang and Wang.
Two sides of the coin.
Exactly. And they both evolved into Wang through the changes in language.
Right.
And knowing how many Wangs ended up all over the world.
Exactly.
I can only imagine that linguistic diversity just kept increasing.
You're absolutely right.
As our families migrated.
Starting in the Ming and Qing dynasties, many Wang families, driven by various factors, began migrating, seeking new opportunities in places like Southeast Asia and North America. This led to the Wong surname becoming a truly global symbol of Chinese heritage, a tapestry woven across continents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into those journeys a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
First up, Southeast Asia. That seems like a major chapter in the Wang diaspora story.
It is.
What can you tell us about the role Wangs played in those communities?
Well, Wang families played a crucial role in actually building Chinese communities in countries like Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. They were vital in establishing businesses, engaging in trade, and contributing to the social and economic development of those regions.
Wow.
They also formed these things called clan associations,
Okay.
which acted as vital support systems, helping families preserve their lineage, celebrate traditions, and navigate the challenges of settling in new lands.
It's incredible how those clan associations help maintain these connections and cultural identity, right?
It is.
Across generations and geographical boundaries. It really speaks to the strong sense of community and kinship within the Wang lineage.
Definitely.
But what about North America? I know there's a substantial Wang population there as well. What were those journeys like?
Yeah, the Wang presence in North America is significant. I mean, it dates back to the 19th century. Wangs were among those early Chinese immigrants who faced immense challenges, including discrimination and really harsh working conditions, especially during the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad.
Right.
Despite these hardships, they persevered,
Yeah.
establishing themselves in various fields, from laundries and restaurants to businesses and academia,
Wow.
demonstrating a remarkable spirit of resilience and adaptability.
It's inspiring to see how, despite facing adversity, Wangs made significant contributions to building nations,
Yeah.
and shaping societies so far from their ancestral homeland. It's really quite a reach.
It is. It's fascinating, too, how even today, in the modern age, Wang families across the globe are using technology to rediscover their shared history.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're using genealogy platforms, attending virtual reunions, engaging in online clan associations
Wow.
to explore their heritage and reinforce their identity. It's a really powerful testament to the strength of those family ties, even across continents.
That's incredibly heartwarming. It shows that the Wang legacy is still thriving and evolving,
It is.
and that we're embracing these new ways to connect and celebrate our shared heritage.
Absolutely. And while technology offers exciting new avenues for exploration, there are also more traditional ways Wang families honor their ancestors and their heritage.
Okay.
One of the most significant is the Qingming Festival, a time when Wangs all over the world come together to pay respects to their ancestors.
So tell me more about this festival.
Sure.
What does it involve?
Well, Qingming, which is also known as Tomb Sweeping Day,
Okay.
it's a deeply rooted tradition in Chinese culture. It's where families visit the graves of their ancestors to clean them, offer food and drink, and perform rituals of remembrance.
It's a really beautiful way to demonstrate gratitude and respect, isn't it?
It is.
For those who came before us.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about the importance of family, lineage, and Chinese culture.
It does.
And I think especially for those carrying the Wang name. But before we delve deeper into these traditions and explore those modern-day connections within the Wang diaspora, I think we should take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to continue our deep dive into the fascinating world of the Wong surname. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Wong surname.
Yeah.
We've been tracing this amazing journey from ancient China to, well, its global presence today.
Right.
And I was thinking, as we're talking about all these Wangs reconnecting with their heritage,
Yeah.
about Roots of China, the website that we mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like such a valuable tool,
It really is.
for anyone who wants to explore their Chinese ancestry.
Absolutely.
And especially, for us Wangs.
It is a fantastic resource, especially for those with the Wong surname who want to dig even deeper into their family history. It's got so much information about Chinese culture, history, and heritage.
Right.
And it's really designed to help people of Chinese descent, both within China and in the diaspora, to reconnect with their roots.
You mentioned some really interesting features earlier.
Yeah.
Especially for those of us interested in genealogy, family history research. Could you tell us a bit more about, the specifics of what Roots of China offers?
One of the best parts about Roots of China is its massive database of Chinese surnames. They have all this detailed information on the origins, meanings, and historical significance of lots of different surnames.
Okay.
Including Wang.
So they have stuff specifically about Wang.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. Right.
You can actually trace the different branches of the Wang family, understand how they migrated,
Really?
and even connect with other Wangs who might share your lineage.
So if I'm a Wang listening right now,
Yeah.
and I'm curious about my specific branch of the family,
Right.
Roots of China could give me some clues.
Exactly. It's like putting a puzzle together, connecting the dots of your family history.
Oh, wow.
Roots of China gives you the pieces and you can see the bigger picture.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. Plus, they've got tons of information on immigration stories, regional guides, and even digital tools to help you build your family tree.
That's amazing. I bet there's some incredible stories of, migration and resilience on there just waiting to be found.
Oh, absolutely. The stories of how Wang families made these incredible journeys across oceans, settled in new lands, and built these new lives. I mean, they're truly inspiring. And Roots of China helps preserve those stories and share them so we get a glimpse into the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us.
It's like we're adding chapters, right?
Yeah.
To this ongoing saga of the Wang family.
You got it.
Connecting our present to such a vibrant past.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And it's all thanks to this one resource online. But beyond these individual stories, I imagine Roots of China also helps us understand, the broader picture, right?
Of course.
Of the historical and cultural things that really shaped the Chinese diaspora.
Absolutely. It helps you understand, the push and pull factors that led to those migrations. Right. The challenges people faced when they left their homeland, how they adapted, and how they thrived in their new homes.
Yeah.
It really does paint this picture of the historical backdrop for our ancestor stories.
So it's not just names and dates.
Nope.
It's understanding the context of history.
And how it actually impacted real people, our ancestors.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds like Roots of China would be a fantastic tool for anyone, even beyond Wangs.
Oh, absolutely.
For anyone wanting to really connect with their Chinese heritage.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you're a Wang, a Li, a Chen, or any other Chinese surname. This website helps you understand your ancestral legacy. It celebrates the richness and diversity of Chinese culture.
Right.
Recognizes the contributions of the Chinese diaspora all over the world.
Yeah.
And fosters this sense of shared identity and belonging.
I mean, it's pretty incredible to think about how technology, is bridging that gap.
It is.
Between generations and, across continents, allowing people to reconnect with their roots in ways that we never could before.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. And for us Wangs, it's even more exciting to have this specific resource like Roots of China to sort of guide us on that journey.
For sure.
What really stood out to you the most about this website?
For me, I think the most impactful part of Roots of China is how it really humanizes history.
Okay.
It's not just about facts and figures.
Yeah.
It's about real people, their stories, what they went through, and their successes.
Right.
It makes history tangible, relatable, and it connects us to our ancestors on a personal level.
I completely agree. And it's that human connection that makes this exploration of our heritage so meaningful.
It does.
It's about understanding where we come from, who we are, and how we fit into the larger story of human history.
Yeah.
And for Wangs all over the world, it's about celebrating that shared legacy of our name.
Exactly.
This legacy that spans centuries and continents.
Speaking of celebrating our heritage, we were talking about the Qingming Festival earlier.
Yeah.
This festival, also known as Tomb Sweeping Day, is such a powerful example of how Wang families, and really the whole Chinese community, honor their ancestors and stay connected to their roots.
Yes, you mentioned earlier that it's a time when families visit the graves of their ancestors.
Exactly.
Can you tell us a bit more about that, the significance of this practice and what it reveals about Chinese cultural values?
We're back and ready to jump right back into our exploration of the Wong Surname.
Let's do it.
With a closer look at the Qingming Festival. It's amazing to me how this tradition connects Wong families across generations.
It really is.
So we were talking about visiting ancestral graves during Qingming.
Right.
And what makes that practice so central to Chinese culture? And especially to the Wang legacy.
Well, Qingming, it's not just like a casual visit to a grave.
Yeah.
It's a deeply symbolic thing. It's an act of remembrance, respect, and filial piety.
Right.
Which is a cornerstone of Chinese culture,
It's acknowledging the sacrifices of our ancestors, honoring their memory, and expressing gratitude for everything they did to get us to where we are today.
Yeah.
For Wong families, I think it's a really powerful reminder of the continuity of our lineage and that shared heritage that binds us together.
That's beautiful. It really highlights that, generations are all connected.
Yeah.
And the importance of remembering our roots. It's bigger than just, us as individuals.
For sure. It's about the collective story of a family, a clan, a whole community.
But how exactly is Qingming celebrated? Like, what do people actually do?
Well, during Qingming, families get together at the graves of their ancestors.
Okay.
They clean the tombstones, offer food and incense, and, they share stories.
Oh, wow.
And memories of their loved ones.
Okay.
It's a time for reflection, remembrance, and strengthening family bonds.
Wow.
Some families even perform traditional rituals like burning paper offerings to symbolize provisions for their ancestors in the afterlife.
So it's a very moving experience. Yeah, it is.
Very personal, and a way to sort of keep those memories alive.
Absolutely.
And pass down that family history to younger generations.
Yeah. It's like weaving together the threads of the past, present, and future, honoring those who came before us, while also shaping our own path.
It's incredible. And, even though Wangs have migrated, right, all over the globe,
right,
this tradition is still going strong.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Whether it's in these huge cities or quiet towns,
yeah,
Wangs everywhere find ways to observe Qingming.
They do, and they adapt the customs to their local context, but they always maintain that core value of remembrance and filial piety.
It really shows that resilience of tradition.
Yeah.
And the deep connection Wangs have to their heritage. It's inspiring to see how our community finds those ways to honor the past while embracing the present,
I agree.
carrying those values forward.
Yeah.
But, it's not just about preserving those traditions, right?
It's about evolving, too. I imagine there were some Wangs who are finding these new ways, these modern ways, to celebrate Qingming.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of Wangs are using technology
Oh.
to connect with relatives across continents,
Oh, wow.
to share family stories online, or even create these virtual memorials.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I think it's a real testament to the adaptability and dynamism of the Wong spirit,
Oh, right.
finding ways to bridge that gap between tradition and modernity.
So the Wong story is still being written. It's blending the ancient with the new. It makes me wonder, what does it mean to be a Wong in today's world with such a rich heritage? How do we figure out our identities in such a global society?
That's a really great question. I think being a Wong today is about embracing the two sides of our identity.
Sure.
On the one hand, we have these deep historical roots,
Yeah.
the values the name represents,
Right.
the journeys our ancestors took to build this future for us. But it's also about, acknowledging our own individual experiences, the cultures we've been a part of, and the things we've contributed to these diverse societies we live in.
So it's about honoring the past
Yeah.
while also looking ahead,
Oh, right. Exactly.
maintaining our connection to our heritage, but being global citizens too.
Absolutely. And it's a journey of constant exploration and discovery.
Yeah.
It's about, learning about our family history, understanding our name and all its cultural nuances,
Right.
appreciating the sacrifices of those who came before us.
Yeah.
But also, it's about figuring out what we value,
Yeah.
embracing our individuality and making our own mark on the world, all while carrying that torch forward.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And not just for Wongs, but for anyone out there exploring their heritage. It's about understanding that our identities, they're not set in stone.
No.
They evolve,
They do.
shaped by both our past and present. And it's through that understanding that we can really appreciate the complexity of our own stories.
Absolutely. As we finish up our deep dive into the Wong surname, I encourage all of you listening to keep exploring your own family histories and embrace all the richness of your heritage. There's so much out there to discover. Platforms like Roots of China can really help guide you along the way.
It's been such an interesting journey today. We learned about the two origins of the Wong name.
Two sides of the same coin.
Right. We talked about the incredible journey it's taken through language and migration
Across the world.
and the traditions that connect us all.
Yeah.
It's been really enriching, and I hope it's made you all feel a little bit more curious and proud.
I hope so too. Remember, your name is more than just a name. It's this thread that connects you to such a huge and vibrant tapestry of history, culture, and family. Embrace your heritage.
Yeah.
Explore your roots and keep writing your own chapter in this remarkable story.
Thank you all so much for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep celebrating the power of heritage.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.